Previously on the podcast.
Gangbanging is a lot of witchcraft. Like the hand signals, they have what's called knowledge, and they would write down codes to the gang and like pretty much what you had to live by. Everything was in like ebonics to like how you communicate. It's just witchcraft, bro. And now that I think about it, all of the ones that were in my game specifically, like, you know, folk means for our Lord King Satan. Folks. Folks. I was in a whole gang worshiping the devil pretty much, and they would throw up pitchforks. Like they would be like, it's demonic, bro.
Oh, they even wear the beads.
They wore the beads, and the beads had to get blessed.
How do you get the beads blessed?
So like the beads had to get blessed by one of the like higher ups, whether it be the OG, triple OG, double OG. So the women would be all beaded up, and they'll be doing protection on you when you go out and you selling weight. They would bless you, make sure that you were good and that you're not gonna go to jail.
Bro, this is crazy. When I was in the Santeria and Voodoo, bro, like I had to get my beads blessed. I had to go to the shop, the Santero.
Yep.
I remember it was a witch, bro. It was a bruja. She would take the beads and put it in the Florida water, take the cigar smoke, like an old lady smoking a cigar, and would and bless the beads for me to go out and be blessed. And I had to keep like getting like renewal of the blessing.
Yeah.
Bro, I never put this is crazy.
And it's by rank. So like the more beads you had, the more deeper you were in.
It was the same thing with Voodoo and Santeria.
Yeah. To gain rank, you would have to go deeper. So like there'd be times where they'd be like, yo, you gotta go shoot somebody. You gotta go cut somebody. Or you gotta go beat somebody up. So like that's how you would gain rank.
Like in actual Satanism where it's not gangbanging, right? You have to sacrifice somebody. Yeah. It's a Satanism.
Yeah.
You had a whole encounter with the devil.
Yeah.
While taking psychedelics.
Yeah. So like this is perfect. It actually falls right into it because it was like left Colonial from all of that crazy stuff, came to Lake Nona. And when I came to Lake Nona, relaxed. Now it was more about taking drugs more than selling drugs. Wow. You see what I'm saying? Because on this side of town, you don't got to worry about all the stuff you're worried about on that side of town. On this side, it's more relaxed, more money. Parents that have money, bigger houses, kids got cars, kids have money to buy drugs. You see what I'm saying? They're not on the east side. It's like they broke. Like if you're not selling drugs, then the people not really copping like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So what happened was on Late Nona, I got to relax. I was like, okay, bet. So then I got to experiment with different drugs because on the east side, all we did was smoke weed. I popped the Xan like once in like 9th grade, like mad long ago. And my cousin gave me one. He was like, yo, here, bomb. And I fell asleep. I never wanted to do it again because it was like, I didn't want to do that. Like, there was no point. I was like, what the heck? I just got sleepy. I went to sleep for hours.
Yeah.
So then I came to Lake Nona, and then these kids are more like experimental, like little parties, like little get-togethers that didn't get shut down, that didn't get shot up. Girls, you know what I'm saying? Pretty girls or whatever, right? That they would come together and they'd smoke together, and it is a vibe. So I realized that I'm like, okay, I gotta chill. Like I gotta stop being hot. Like I gotta stop doing all this. So I relaxed. Like I was like, all right, bet I'm not on that time no more. I just started to chill. Started smoking, drinking. I started to drink. I didn't drink on the east side. Like I drank like maybe once or twice whenever like they had it, but like it wasn't like a thing. Like we started to drink for real. They started to like shrooms and acid got introduced. So what happened was I started rapping. Like I rapped on the east side, kinda. Like I would rap. But then like when I got to Lake Nona, I would rap for real. Like that's when I was like, all right, like
you took that culture.
Yeah.
Like now you're like, man, I'm better than most people here. Like,
yeah. Like
ain't no competition like that.
Exactly. So I was just like, all right, let me rap. Like I wanted to blow up. Like I wanted to rap. So I would like practice freestyling or whatever. And I remember when I was in Lake Nona, I had this like, I always had this conviction in my heart about rapping about like murdering people or rapping about like killing people. Specifically that. I didn't want to do that. I rap about trapping. I rap about girls. I could rap about picking you up or something, beating you up or something, but I never really rapped about like killing and like murder and like gory stuff. You see what I'm saying? I didn't like that. I had a conviction of it. I didn't want to rap about it. I would write songs and I would specifically not say stuff like that, right? But then I remember in Lake Nona, I was like, the only way that I'll be able to like, people like that stuff. Like when you start saying stuff like that in like a freestyle cipher or like when everybody's around, they kind of like, whoa, like, they start like to get like they think it's cool.
They lift
it up. So I was like, I made a choice, and I remember I stopped caring. Like I had like that conviction. I had that little hope in me. I let it go. I was like, nah, like whatever. I'm done.
You made a choice.
Like I made that. I made like this is what people need to understand. I had that conversation with myself. I made that choice, bro. I was like, yo, I don't even care no more. I'm gonna rap about whatever. And then that's when I started talking about, man, I'll take your and then grab the and I'm gonna. I blow your brains out. And like I started getting real gory, grimy rapping. But the devil was insulting it, like, because everybody knew I was like this rapper guy, whatever, right? And then it was like me. I had a homeboy, and he was this Mexican dude. He was real close to me at that time. He was older. He was like 2 grade levels older. He seen me, like he's from like the hood too, from like Arizona or something like that. So like we attracted because he was like, he wasn't used to like the whole like Nona culture either. It was kind of like, it was weird. But and then he ended up getting kicked out from his house or whatever. Me and him got my mom liked him, my dad liked him. We let him stay over the house a lot. We went to school together, and he became like my brother. And then one day we like I forgot who put us on. Somebody put us on to like taking like, it's called triple C's. It's like these pills that you would pop and you would trip out, bro. Like I'm talking about, like it's like worse than acid. Like you would trip. I mean, nah, it's probably not worse than acid, but it's up there with acid.
Like triple C's could be laced with anything. It could be anything. Yeah,
bro. I'm talking about, it would take us into a whole trip, like out of this world. Like bro, we're not in this reality. We are in a different reality, like type, right? We did it like a couple times, and then there was one time he was like, "Bro, you want a trip?" I was like, "Yeah, whatever." It was like summertime. We went, we got him, right? We got some weed. We went to my house. We were in there. We took him, started tripping. Man, that trip lasted for hours. It was like 12 hours, almost like a whole day you would trip out, right? So we were tripping, and we're like making music, and we were listening to, like, this is when dubstep came out. Remember when dubstep, like the Sierra Leone mixes on YouTube? You remember that?
They were collabing with like rappers and stuff like that.
So the Sierra Leone stuff came out, whatever, dubstep, whatever. And we were bumping that. And I remember we turned off the lights, and then we were just like listening to the music, like all this craziness. And I remember it felt like we fell. It felt like we both had like this rush of like you're falling, boom. And then he turned the lights on. He was like, "Yo, you felt that?" I was like, "Yeah, I felt that." He was like, "Yo, that's crazy. Like you felt like you were falling, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like we both had like that sensation in our hearts. And then he was like, "Come on, let's go smoke." Right? Bomb. We went downstairs into my garage and we smoked. Right? And we rolled up, we smoked. And the smoking like takes your trip, like throws you into so we smoked. And after we smoked, he's trying to tell me about his dreams and how he's like, "Man, we're gonna blow up. We're gonna blow up. We're gonna blow up in this music, like me and you," because he's rap too. He was like, "Me and you, bro, me and you, like, man, come on, like, I have dreams about it. Like, man, God gives me dreams." And his sister, he was Mexican, right? So his sister was like, I guess she was like into like all that like dream books and like all this stuff, and she would like interpret his dreams, and then he was trying to tell me about it, and I didn't, like, in my head I didn't really care for her. I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever. And then we go inside from my garage. We go inside, right? And then from my garage, the door right there led into the kitchen. Right. So we opened that door, I walked inside, everything's dark, it's nighttime, and he closed the door. When he closed the door, that's when everything went black. Like literally, like I thought it was a part of the trip. Everything just goes black. It's blackness all around me. And I'm like, "Yo, what the heck?" And I turn around and I look at him, and we're both like levitating in darkness, bro. Like that's what it feels like. And all I could see was his face. Right. Even though we're in all black, all I could see was his face. His face was like focused, and his eyes were like all white. And then he starts to speak, and he was whispering. He was like, "Hey, you know why I'm here?" Like he was talking like in a whisper. And he pretty much said, I don't remember every exact word like verbatim, but he said more or less like, "You know why I'm here." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he was like, "I'm here to like, you know, I'm here to like make money. I'm here to like to do this rap stuff or whatever." And like as he would speak, like I would see what he was talking about. So he was showing me like, I'm here to boom. And then he was like, "You're good at rapping." He was like, "You're really good." He's like, "I've been watching you." He was like, you know, he was like, "And me and you together, we could have it all." He said, "Think about it," right? When he said, "Think about it," I would see it. It was like, I would like, it was kind of like everything that he would say, I see it. He said, "Think about it. I see money. I see my parents all happy because I made it. I have money. I see myself on a tour bus with mad weed and all my boys around me." And I remember being like, being on a stage, mad people just like, like screaming. And then like, he's like, and then I come back. He's like, "You can have all that tomorrow." He's like, "Just come with me." He was like, "You have a choice." He's like, "You could do all this, everything I promised, me and you together, or you can stay with your family." He said it just like that. And when he said stay with your family like that, I was like, dang, bro. Like, and I thought about it. Like, even in that moment, I thought about like my mom. I thought about my dad. I thought about my brothers, my sisters. And I'm like, I don't want to leave my family. Like, and I remember in that moment, like, he's looking at me like I wasn't as enthusiastic as he expected. And he was like, and I was like, I said, no. Like, I literally was like, nah, I'm okay. And he said, what? Like, and he got angry. And he was like, what do you mean? He was like, this is what you've always wanted. And like, when he would get angry, it was like everything around started like intensifying. Like, bro, it was like a movie. Like, what do you mean? This is what you always wanted. This is what we've always wanted. You said it. That you wanted to da-da-da-da-da. And I was just like, yeah, but no. And I said no the second time. Because when he got all angry, it's like he started to like rise up above me. And like, I began to like sink as he got angry and he was looking at me. But when I said no, it's like I came up a little bit. I said no a second time. When I said no the second time, we kind of like evened out. And we were like on the same. And then I said no the third time. And when I said no the third time is when I started to rise over him. Right? And I was like, don't ask me again. Right? And then he was like, all right, relax. Right? And then even in the trip, bro, I prophesied. I was like, everything that you said I'm gonna have it, but just not with you. And then that's when like everything like came back like right. And then that's when I came back from the trip, like, and my boy like snapped out of it. He's like, yo, what the heck was that, bro? Like, yo, like, dude, that wasn't me, bro. Like he starts freaking out. He starts crying and freaking out. And I was like, it's all good, bro. Just come on, let's go upstairs. And we go upstairs. We're in my room. The lights on. The lights mad bright. Like my room was mad bright. Like very bright room. And I go upstairs and I open the laptop and I go to play like a song or something to like kind of like, oh, we don't know what, like we were so like shocked of everything that just happened.
Was like, what he was like,
yeah, he didn't know what he was like.
He was kind of confused.
He was confused. Like he got possessed. Like he got completely like taken, and he got possessed. And then we started to talk, and then like, you know, I tried to put on some music or whatever, and then like literally like I turned it off because I was like, man, I wasn't feeling it. And then it was like in that moment, like with the lights so bright and everything being all white, like I started to feel that feeling that I felt like when we had fell, but it was the opposite. It was like we were going up, right? And I had like this whole sensation in my, like this feeling of like, you know, when you're on an airplane and you start to ascend up, I started to feel that. And then the voice, and then like I turned and my boy again, bro, started to speak again, bro. And he started to say like, oh, like good job. Like, I'm glad you said no to him, like trying to act like God. Like, and he tried to play like the whole God role, like, and he was like, yeah, like you're like Alex is your brother, like you have to stay close to him. He just said a bunch of random stuff, and then I don't really remember what he said too much, but it was trying to deceive me, to make me believe that like everything that was said downstairs was still true, but like in like a reverse psychology way,
like angel of light,
like an angel of light. Like he came in the darkness first, but then he tried to play the angel of light on me. And he tried to deceive me, and he looked at me and he said, if you remember this, tomorrow it's going to happen. He said it 3 times. If you remember this, tomorrow it's going to happen. If you remember this, tomorrow it's going to happen. He said it 3 times. I think that looked like witchcraft, right? And I came back. When we came back the second time, I was like, all right, bro, I got to go to sleep, bro. Like, this is too much, bro. I can't deal right now. He wanted to talk about it. I'm like, nah, bro, I'm going to sleep, bro. And I lay down. And I don't know how, but I went to sleep. Because on that drug, you can't go to sleep until like way later, like until you come down from the trip. But I somehow went to sleep. I lay down, went to sleep. And when I woke up, my boy was standing right next to me, like waiting for me to wake up. And I opened my eyes and I seen him. He was like, do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember? Do you remember? And I acted like I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm like, nah, bro, I don't remember. What are you talking about? He's like, you don't remember? You don't remember? I was like, nah, I don't remember. I don't remember, because I knew, like, if I would have come into agreement, like, it was like something bad. If I would have came into agreement,
just knew that in your spirit.
I just knew it, and
that's powerful. You just said,
bro. And then
the power of agreement.
I was just like, nah, bro, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. We had to go to summer school because me and him were both in summer school. We went to summer school, and like, bro, the whole day in summer school, bro, I was like zoned out. Like, they were trying to tell me to do work. There was, bro, I literally sat there the entire day. I'm talking about 8 hours, and I just like this. And I'm just thinking, I'm just like, yo, what happened last night, bro? And I'm like replaying this whole thing in my head, everything that was said, everything that happened. But then what was confusing me was the upstairs encounter. I was like, was that God? I was like, I don't know if that was God. It didn't feel like God. Like, it felt like God, but it didn't, like, but some of the things that he was saying didn't sound like things God would say. So I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know, bro. And I'm just thinking all day. And my boy's like freaking out. Like, he's like trying to talk to me. Like, we were in 2 different classrooms, thank God. And he was always like looking for me. And I was just like, and I would stay in the room and I would be like, nah, I didn't go out to eat lunch. I didn't go on a break. I didn't go to the bathroom. I just stayed in the room and I was just thinking all day what happened last night. And then at the end of the day, when we were have to go home, he was like, yo, I feel like we should tell somebody what happened. And I was like, okay, let's do that. And we got two of my boys, and like one named Gene, one named Matt, and we grabbed some weed. Like one of them brought weed, and we went to my garage and we smoked. And we told him everything. And it was like when we got to the upstairs part with like the whole like thing of God, like I cried. We all cried. Like me and him cried because it was so like emotional because we like thought it was God. And like, but like, so a thing about triple C's is when you take it, like you're still tripping for like the next couple of days. Like it's very light. It's a very light
like
trip.
the residue.
Yeah, but then when you smoke, it kind of like brings it back. You see what I'm saying? So after we smoked and we were telling him everything, it was kind of like we re-entered the trip almost. Right? And we're in my garage, and this is the part that gets actually very crazy, is that we're in the garage and we tell him everything. We tell him the story. And it was like, as soon as we finished telling them the story, Alex is like, all right, come on, let's rap. Pulls out a laptop and he opens it up and it starts looking for an instrumental. And like right after we just cried, like, I was looking at him like, I was like, oh, no, that's off. Like, I was just looking at him like, because in the whole time he's trying to make me think that he's good, like he's on my team, or he's like that this is still from God. Like now it's like, oh, it's not from the devil. Okay, this is from God. You know what I'm saying? And like in that moment, I looked at him like, oh shoot, like this is like a scheme. Like this is confusion. Like this is trying to confuse me. Like, and I was like, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom. I went inside and I was looking at myself in the mirror inside, and I was like, and then something was just telling me like he's a liar. He's lying.
It's your angels.
Bro, I heard it like mad loud. He's lying. And I'm like, and then I remember in the moment when I was looking at myself in my own eyes, that like something happened where I just got filled. There was like an unction, like something filled me. Like, and like in the moment, I just knew like he was a liar. Like everything that he was saying was wrong. Like he needs to go. Like that was the devil. Like both of them was like everything like just came clear. Like it was almost like my mind like blew up, bro. And like it was so crazy about like even in that moment, like I knew so much. It was like something came upon me.
Holy Ghost.
It was weird. It came upon me like, and I was just like, and I walked back. He's like, and it was like, now go tell him and tell him to get out your house. And I was like, when I left the bathroom and I go outside, and when I open the door, he's standing up. He's looking at me, and it's like he already knows. Like I didn't have to say no words to him. He was looking at me like, so what's up? What's your choice? Right? And I came in and I was like, my choice is, I'm not choosing you. I was like, you're a liar. I was like, that wasn't God. Like, and then like, bro, and then in that moment, it's like something takes over me and I start like, I start preaching. And I just start going like angels are real and like demons are real and God is real and the devil is real. And I was like, and I'm just like, bro, I'm like, and then he's walking around back and forth, like he's walking around back and forth. He's pacing. He's not listening to me. But I wasn't preaching to him. I was preaching to my two boys. I was like, and we got to make a choice because Jesus Christ is coming back. And I start like going crazy. And then like, I take the laptop, I close it, like I slam it, I put it underneath the table and I stand up on top of the table and I just keep preaching, pow, pow. I don't even know what I was saying. And then he starts like, he had a cross on, but his cross wasn't like, it didn't have a cross on it. It didn't have like Jesus on it. It had a skull. So it was literally like a cross, like this,
but with
right?
a skull
but then with
on
a
it.
skull on it, right? And he started like praying in like demonic tongues. Like he was like, and he started praying to the tongues. And he was like, no. Like he said something like, yeah, it's too strong. And he fell to his knees and he started praying to the devil, bro. Like he starts praying like, I lost. No, like I don't know. And I'm preaching. And then I see him when he falls on his knees and I come down off of the thing and I look at him and I'm like, bro, I was like, it's okay. I was like, I love you. I forgive you. I was like, come here, give me a hug. And I hug him because in that moment, he's like, yeah, it was Alex, bro. Like it was him. Like he was the one that like, he didn't want what was happening.
He's possessed.
It was like his soul. Yeah. Like it was the demon that was overtaking him. And like he starts like he starts crying, and I'm hugging him, and I'm like, it's okay, like I love you. But it wasn't me saying that. That was God telling him that.
Yeah, bro.
Like I felt that, like, and then it's like the demon came back up. When the demon came back, he was like, no, he pushed me. Bam. And when he pushed me, I looked at him. I was like, you just made your choice. I was like, now get out of my house. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, get out of my house, bro. And he was like, no, like, and he tried to run into my house, and I run in front of him. And I was like, bro, if you don't leave, bro, I was like, I'm gonna lay hands on you, bro. And he was just like, I was like, back up. And I said, I think I was like, in the name of Jesus, back up, right? And he fell back. And when he fell back, I closed the garage. And it was like this dramatic scene, bro. Like I pushed him back, he fell back. When he fell, I ran, I closed the garage door and it closed on him. And he started banging on the garage, like, ah. He started screaming. It was like wails, like screaming. And then my mom and dad woke up from that.
And your other two friends are there the whole time?
No, they ended up leaving, bro. Like they got freaked out because they didn't understand. Like the entire time that we're having this conversation, there was like this weird conversation that only me and him know what we're talking about.
In the spirit.
In the spirit, like we're communicating, but they're like, yo, what the heck? Like
they don't understand.
It doesn't make no sense.
Yeah. They just think y'all tweaking on drugs.
They just thought we were tweaking on drugs, bro. Oh my gosh. Bro. And then, bro, my mom comes downstairs. Right. And I go inside and I'm like, Mom, I'm like, Mom, God is real. And she was like, she starts laughing. Like this, like demonic laugh, bro. Like, and I remember I felt so alone in that moment. Even my dad started laughing. Like they both looked at each other like, God is real. Like, what? Like, starts laughing, bro. And I was like, oh my gosh, like they don't believe in God, bro. Like, bro, I felt so alone in that moment, bro. I was so sensitive to the spirit. I was so sensitive to everything. Like my house was so dark and they're just laughing in my face. And I was like, I remember being like, I looked at them like, okay, do you love me? And they were like, yeah, I love you. I was like, if you love me, you're gonna listen to me. And they're like, okay, what do you need? I was like, he needs to go. I don't want him here. He needs to go home. We need to take him home. I don't want him back in this house. I was like, and if you love me, you're gonna listen to me. And they're like, okay, all right. And like that shifted them. Their motive was like with love. So they took him home. And bro, after that, like I didn't leave my house for like 10 days, bro. Like I was in my room, like it was like I just was born. Like I was like a baby. Yeah, I believed. Like I was freaking out, bro. I was scared. Like,
did you end up like giving your life to Christ?
I gave my life to Jesus. Yeah, like that day I went to go see my uncle because I was freaking out, and my dad didn't know what to do. My dad was freaked out. My mom was. Everybody was freaking out because like, yo, what's wrong with him? Like something's wrong with him. Like I was like, no, like he's God is real. Like no, like y'all, like, well, he's coming back. Like I was freaking out. And like they were like, they didn't know what to do. Like they were worried. Like they didn't know if they had to like submit me into like a mental hospital or something. Like I was losing it. So he's like, my dad told my uncle, and my uncle said, bring him to me. When I came to see my uncle, like it was super like heavenly, bro. Like I came to see him, and he was like, my uncle had like all this like, he had like super authority, and like I could see it on him. I'm like, yo, like I respected him, I honored him. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, and he gave me a Bible. He gave me a New King James Bible. He was like, this is what you need to read. You need to read this. He's like, you need to go to church. And you need to see God. He said, go to your house. He said, throw everything away. Everything that has like a picture of a demon on it, anything that has to do with anything demonic, throw it all away. And I went home, all my black shirts, anything that I had, I threw it all away. Every demonic thing that I had in my house, I threw it away. And bro, I would just read the Bible, bro, and I would just pray and then I went to like Faith of Assembly, and I would go by myself. Like I didn't have no church. Like there's no church in Lake Nona. There's no church. Like there probably is now, but like at the time there's no churches there. So I had to go all the way to the east side of Orlando to a church that's called Faith of Assembly, bro. And I would go by myself. And I'll tell my mom, like, Mom, you gotta take me. I need to go. Like I need to go. And she was like, okay. She drove me all the way over there. She would drop me off. And I would get off, and I wouldn't know nobody there. I would just come. I would sit down. I would receive. I would go to the front. I would worship. I would cry, all by myself, bro.
Because you knew God. You're like, bro,
I knew God is real, bro.
Praise God,
bro. And I remember people would be like, yo, like, hey, how are you? Like, what are you doing here? And I'm just like, oh, I'm here for God. Like, and they'd be like, and I'll be reading my word, and they would be so like, what the heck? Like he's reading his word. He just be here by himself. Like that was so weird.
You were saved.
I was saved, bro.
They're looking at you weird because they're like, I don't like.
Yeah, like I wasn't there for no friends. I wasn't there for nothing. I was there for God, bro. And then I became like, then slowly but surely, like I started becoming like normal.
Because you weren't getting discipled.
Yeah, no, I had no covering. I had nobody talk to me. Nobody, like, I would just come and receive. But like crazy stuff would happen. Like people would like pray for me, and like they would start praying in tongues. Like it wasn't even a church of tongues, but a person laid hands on me and then they were praying for me, and then they started like praying in the spirit. Like it was crazy, bro. It was crazy. God really showed up.
You had a whole encounter with the devil while taking psychedelics.
Yeah. As he would speak, like I would see what he was talking about. I seen money. I see myself on a tour bus. He's like, you can have all that tomorrow. He's like, just come with me. Like everything around started like intensifying. This is what you always wanted. This is what we've always wanted. Gangbanging is a lot of witchcraft. And now that I think about it, all of the ones that were in my game specifically, like, you know, folk means for our Lord King Satan. FOLKS, folks. I was in a whole gang worshiping the devil pretty much.
They even wear the beads.
They wore the beads, and the beads had to get blessed.
How do you get the beads blessed?
So like
because of the drugs, you ended up actually missing your first child's birth in the hospital.
Yeah. I couldn't stop. I wanted to stop, bro. I was so self-destructive. These habits have overtaken me now. It just became who I was. Like,
you were oppressed with demons.
Yeah, bro. Like,
tell me about the one time you got possessed by a demon and actually physically abused your wife.
We went to my boy's house one time and we were drinking, but then like one time she was like something about a boy, some dude, something in her past, something like that triggered me, bro. And we were drinking and I stopped talking to her and I shut down, but then I blacked out. She said that like I was like a whole different person. Like she didn't even know who I was. I don't remember. I was so like, oh, like so like angry, and like I was like punching the wall and like punching the car, and like I remember the next day after that night I was like, yo, what the heck is my wife is telling me all these things that I did. I used to think that she would like over exaggerate.
Crazy, because like if you go to a liquor store, it says wine and spirit. I think it's the spirit called akule. When it enters you, it's a spirit that can possess you.